Got a little bit of work to do prior to starting this scene. Hi there, my name's Paint with Josh. Nice to see you again. And what we're gonna do is take our black gesso, kind of scrub on with our little scrubby pad and make our whole area over here black, leaving our white area white. And then we'll be using both the liquid white and the liquid clear base, right? So you guys check in, let me know where you're watching from out there in the night. We've got our liquid clear base. Now remember, only dip in like maybe a 1/4 inch, maybe. We don't even have a whole canvas to fill up. Now it's very easy to see the liquid clear going on to your black section, and you're allowed to go out into the white section. I mean, literally you could do the whole canvas with the clear base, but the liquid white helps with blending colors and brightening things and softening different things. It's just a real help to have that liquid white base. Now you can get the liquid white base by the Bob Ross brand or the Grumbacher's brand. We use both of them over here in Selah, Washington, where we have our gallery and our classroom studios that are literally right next door to each other. That's the dream, neighboring studios right there. So everybody check in, let me know where you're watching from out there in the night. Man, as soon as you said the liquid base, you felt dumb. That's okay. Don't feel dumb out there, okay? Well, I'll explain it all to you. So we do the wet on wet technique, meaning we take wet paint and we apply it to a wet surface, right? In order to get the surface wet, it's very much like spraying down your griddle before you make pancakes. You give it a little spritz of the Pam spray, that cooking spray, right? Or greasing up your pan, throw a little butter on there, something in order for our pancake mix to not stick, right? It's the same sort of concept. We have very, very, very thick paint that we're going to put on this canvas. And so in order to get it to blend and slide and move around, we have to have that wet base. So very good question. Very good question. Now, as I take the liquid white and see what happens if you get over into that white section, it starts getting or into our black section, starts getting very white, right? So we're going to stay out of that black area about as much as we can and get the entire surface of the canvas wet, half with this liquid white in the white area, and then our liquid clear in the black area. All right, you guys check in. I'm going to look at the comments right now. Where are you from out there in the night? I'm going to get the sides and the top all done real quick. Doesn't take too long. So where are you guys from? We got Israel, we got Hungary checking in, already internationally checking in over there. We've got Ohio, we've seen New York, South Carolina, Canada, St. Louis, UK, Montreal. Christina's checking in over there on the book. Mackie's here. We got Utah, we got Sweden, New Hampshire. Let's see, looks like a tiger in a cave, this kind of deal over here. You never know. You never know what it's going to be. It does look like the, oh my word, it does. That's a cool idea to have like the diamond in the rough. It's like a tiger mouth opening up. That's kind of neat. Cool idea. So we got Greece. Did the canvas come that way? No, no, no. We used our black gesso and our little scrubby pad, which looks just like this, right? These are the little wall edging pads that you can use when you're painting your wall so you don't get too close with your roller, you know what I mean? So you take your Liquitex black gesso, screenshot that right there, and this little tool, right? That way you'll be able to get the Liquitex and the little tool, scrub it on, and it goes on so fast and so easily, you guys. Okay, now we're gonna go through the colors we've been using, or we're going to use today. Titanium white, ivory black, alizarin crimson, ultramarine blue, our sap green, yellow ochre, Indian yellow, then our burnt sienna, raw umber, phthalo turquoise, and this is that cadmium orange hue from Winsor & Newton that we might use in our grass. Now, this is a strange scene. You guys wanted this one, okay? I painted this yesterday with Danny hanging out in the studio, and everybody seemed to love it so much that we're gonna do it again today. So we're gonna take our Indian yellow, pop that out here. Now, if you're using the Bob Ross brand, it's Indian yellow, and if you're using the Gamblin brand, it's India yellow, like the country. That's the brand we're using, the Gamblin brand, right? We can take some of that yellow, allow it to spread up here, and you can see it's getting more and more faint as it mixes in with that liquid white. Remember, our canvas is wet. The black area too, just with a clear base, right? Now, might not be a popular opinion, but every once in a while, especially as Halloween starts coming around, we like doing some green sky. And so I was out here yesterday painting and said, you know what, let's start it off as a sunset, and then let's take that phthalo turquoise right on top of the brush. And we know what's gonna happen as we start bringing it down here and mixing it in with our India yellow. It's gonna start turning green very quickly. It's gonna be really cool. We're also gonna dab off that brush. We're gonna grab a little touch of our sap green just to make it extra greeny. There we go. Pop that guy in over here, and then we're going to blend it down. We're really only going to save the sunset right down there in the bottom, right? So we'll mix it down, and we'll mix all this green over here, mix it in with our turquoise sky. It's going to be really cool, you guys, seriously. Pop it in over there, up around the corner, and then because it's Paint with Josh, you know me, we always add a little touch of black right up into the sky just to help dull it down. So you might be looking at this going, this dude is crazy, but I'm telling you, if you want to see what this painting is going to look like, go over to my website, paintwithjosh.com, scroll down a little bit, because the very first thing you're going to see is this painting, right? And obviously there's no photo of this one yet because we haven't finished. But if you want to see what it's going to look like, scroll down past the classes, and the next little thing you're going to see is this painting, right? But it's from yesterday. So that one's 25.56. This one's 25.57. And that's just a number. That's not the price. Don't you worry. Okay. Now we'll get down here. We're going to start blending again. Our nice clean dry brush. We'll get back into the yellow. And as we start getting up here, the bluey turquoise and the yellow are all going to start to mix and blend. And as we push it, we're going to allow it out over into that dark section. Then we'll come back and we'll clean it up and pop that little section back out. So don't even worry about it, right? The more we mix and blend with more pressure, right, we're just going to keep bringing down all that color. But if we got down here and we started adjusting our pressure and leaving it in little areas, the more and more and more you do, the more lightly it will be, right? The more faint. But you got to mix it hard. It's not about leaving it out there and just having it all nice and pretty. You got to mix it hard. You don't want to go soft. You don't want to have a nice soft sky, because then you'll have all these streaks just like that. And if you don't get up there and push on that streak and really blend it and make it mix in with the liquid white base and all those other colors, then you'll see a very, very, very hard sky. And we like to have a nice little soft skies. Okay, now let's get out here. This one, I mean, you don't really need a whole lot of clouds in it, but if we were going to add one and have it be all crazy, let's get a little touch of our titanium white, a good amount, a little bit of that India yellow, just to have the clouds be a little yellowish goldeny color. And we'll come out here and we'll slam it into the canvas and spin it and mush it and push it and try to get the white paint or the yellowish paint to come off of the canvas, off of the brush and stick to the canvas. Come up here with our big old 2-inch brush and start to mix. And the more that we mix it and spin it and push it, the more it's going to blend away with all those colors. Nice and gentle where you want it to stay bright, and then rough where you want it to mix away. So if that was too bright, I'd come up here and mess with it a little bit more. You know what I mean? That's all you got to do. Now we're going to come over here, grab our black, our crimson, our blue paint, usually about 2 to 2 to 1. So 2 blue, 2 crimson, and then 1 part black. And that way you'll get this really deep, dark color. Now remember, most of you guys are thinking, oh, Josh is just going to throw another little mountainous, snowy landscape out there. And that's not true. We're not going snowy at all. Remember, go check out paintwithjosh.com and scroll down if you want to see what this one's going to look like. And that one is still available. Cut it through here so we get a good old amount, and let's just say we'll pop it down and up and get really crazy with these guys, right? They don't have to be super peaky or sharp on the top, but you got to throw it up there and get up into the clouds, only focusing on what the top edge of the mountain's going to look like. Maybe that guy was like straight down, just sliding down, right? You can scrape up around that outside line, right? Making as many little humps and bumps as you want, but scrape it up so it doesn't grow too far. And as you're scraping, you're also spreading that paint color around, right? That way we can get up here with our big old brush, grip it, and then rip it down. Slide it, right? Come back up. Actually, let's get off of this guy, and we can start pulling the other way. Bing, bang, boom. Maybe we had a whole nother ridge right there, right? So we got this guy coming down, and they got this whole little thing, this guy going off the other way. Right? You have to start building your mountains. Get up here, get real straight. Slide it down just about half the mountain. Boom! Down into the night. Right? Start taking this guy off the other direction, but meeting it at its center point. Right? So we're pulling down and down and down and down. Now we've got one side of this mountain going that way, one side of this mountain going down the other way. And we don't even have to stick to that, you guys. It's literally do whatever you want. Okay? We're going to come over here, grab our burnt sienna and our raw umber in about equal parts. We're going to mix those guys up, and those are going to be our deep, dark shadows, okay? Then, I'm going to wipe off our blade, take about 70% burnt sienna, about 30% of our yellow ochre, just like we're making tree bark, and let's make like a reddish orangey brown, okay? Then we're gonna go about 70% yellow ochre, 30% of our burnt sienna, and then we're gonna be making our highlight color right there. So you should have 3 different color piles between dark, medium, and light, okay? Now, we've got to get up here with our dark color, scoop up a little roll exactly how we would if we were doing a mountain scene with all the white snowy goodness. And we touch along the mountain and you let it slide down. Touch along your ridge, let it slide down. All right, we don't necessarily need to do all the highlights and all the shadows at once, which is what we used to do. And it works very well. You know what I mean? If you want to have a very plain, very beginner mountain, then you can do them all together or all at once. It doesn't really very much matter, right? Let me show you something though. What if we didn't do it all at once and we took a bit of that supreme bright color, so our 3rd pile that we created, and let's start dropping this guy down, right? And all we're doing is touching onto the canvas, allowing it to float, right? We're not pushing, we're rocking out right here, right? Yeah. You don't even have to push on it. That's how, I'm serious. Seriously, you do not have to push, right? Now, what happens if this little guy had a little shadow color? We start to slide down off the back side, right? And off the front side of that shadow, maybe we have another little bit that's coming down this way. All these little valleys and little differences that are just starting to erupt off of our blade, right? And we take that slightly darker color, that mid-range color, and throw it down here, pulling it from left to right. And then on top of that, from right to left, and then on top of that, from left to right. And as we slide down over here, sometimes scooping up the paint, dropping it down into different areas, right? You're gonna start to see little things form. You guys, it's looking so cool already. What if we had a couple little bits of that darker paint? Because we wanna be able to see the brown of our mountain, but it doesn't necessarily have to be the same brightness as our top side. Slide it down, right? Get all these little different colors, different things, guys. I'm telling you, what if you wanted this dude to slide down this way, right? Or come up here, grab your little mountainous paint, come right up into that shadow and going down the other way. You know what I mean? We get to decide what it looks like every time. Each time we do it, say we want it a little bit darker right up around the ridge. Just add that darker shadowy color, right? We're in control, you guys. We get to do whatever the heck we want to do every time. That's why it's so much fun to come out here and paint these little mountains. What if we started to catch some light off of this little friend? And we were coming down this way. Maybe he's starting to get really crazily tall up there. Sliding it down. We got this whole little thing happening, right? Catching light and then shadow. Light and shadow, light and shadow, guys. Seriously, you guys can do this. A little bit more of that medium range paint, that mid-range brownish color, right? So it's not all the same amount of just uber dark. We can decide where we want it to be. All the light, all the dark. Maybe we started catching light right here and sliding down, right? You can do it. You can do all these things. I'm telling you guys, right? So start checking in. Let me know where you're watching from out there in the night. And let's not go down too crazily far with this mountain. It is a beaut, but we don't need to go down too far, right? We cannot go too far to the left either with our light color. It just wouldn't reach all the way over there. But if we do, you better make dang sure you got a bit of shadow on that side, along with a bit of that deeper darkness. There we go. See what I mean? Don't like stress over it. Do it quickly. Get it done. Don't try to force it in there. Don't try to step back and go, ooh, where would like the best place for a little shadow would be? Just do it. Just get up there and let it rip. All you have to worry about is pulling your shadows from right to left and then pulling your highlights from left to right. That's literally it. As long as you can do that, you're going to be set-a-rooski, you guys. Gorgeous. See what I mean? All these cool little things we can do. Now, let's take our brush, start to very lightly rake across in the opposite way that we went down. So we're not out here sweeping back and forth like we're using a broom. We're using a rake. On the ground, drag the rocks, right? On the ground, drag the rocks. On the ground, drag the rocks. We're not getting out here where we're pointing our handle out into the room. That would be bad. It's better be going up towards the ceiling. That's where our handle should be facing, is up towards the ceiling, okay? Now, if I came down this way with my palette tool, we've got to go up the opposite way. So all of our dark shadows are left to right, all of our bright highlights are right to left, going up that mountain, okay? Now, at the very base, all we're gonna do is grab and start to twist. I wanna save a little bit of that yellowy light back there, if we can, just behind my forest, right? So I'm kind of grabbing up just like we do with our clouds, getting a little bit of color, dragging it down this way. A little bit of color, dragging it down, right? You gotta flow along the same way that your mountain was flowing. So if this guy's on a pretty steep little hill there, we better make sure that our mist is coming down at a pretty steep little hill. Now that we're off this side, we're gonna be grabbing it and twisting it up a couple little times, going down. Now we've got this mysterious mist at the bottom of our mountain back there. You just don't know where it ends, right? That's what you want. Now I'm gonna take a lot of my green color. That's a good old, that's like a whole loaf of bread. We always talk about like baguettes out here, like these little rolls of paint look like baguettes. And if we talk about baguettes, that's a whole loaf, right? That's a big amount of green into a small amount of our Paint with Josh plaque so that it becomes a very dark green tinted color, okay? If we have too much plaque, it's not going to, I want it to look very, very, very dark green, right? So if it just looks black, keep throwing more green into it. Okay, let's get over here with our fan brush. We're gonna come down, wiggle down onto our little fan brush over here and sneak one little bit, like I should have grabbed it before I got my paintbrush dirty, but one little bit, maybe two little bits. Get over here with that white color. There, see what I'm saying? It's not as originally dark as it is, but it is still very dark in its color. That's what we need. Now, what if we came over here, and I don't want to cover up too much of my little sunset light in the back there, and I definitely don't want to come up and hit these trees. If you come up and hit all these, all this mountain snow back here, or our rocks, I'm so used to saying snow because that's what we paint all the time. So if you come back here and hit all this mountainous paint that's very, very, very heavy, it's going to be detrimental for you. You're not going to like it. It will not leave a cool look for you, okay? Because I'm telling you, you do not want to fight all this paint. That's why we came back and softened it. So we don't have to get up here and fight all that mountainous mixture, all those dark colors and such, right? So we've come along at the base of our mountain with a little bit of forest. Come in here very lightly, dragging it up, 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 okay? Underneath, tap down. So we're not dragging, we're not smearing it down, we're tap, tap, tapping. Tap, 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 tap. All you gotta do, tippity, tappity, and then don't make it a straight line. See how it's up here, and then it's down here, and then we're up, and maybe we go down, maybe we come back up again. All we're doing is mixing in the darker paint with the lighter paint that's underneath to create all that foresty look. Right, again, come back in, swipe it up, or get in there and mix it up by spinning up your little chocolate milk stir-ups, right? Like we're stirring up chocolate milk back there. Holy shaving cream. I just stepped back and looked at it for the first time. Wow. So, guys, I'm telling you, you're gonna wanna grab this one. There's only one, okay? Now, what we're gonna do, in order to make it kind of similar to our last painting, okay? I'm gonna take a little touch of the green and a little touch of the yellow ochre in itself. Both of those guys, we're gonna come out here, we're gonna start, yes, right in there. Should be very close to the same color that's down there already. All right, we're gonna pop in a far off little grassy hill that's kind of feeding up into our little mistiness, right? Very far, very far away. And eventually all of that grass is gonna overtake this entire scene. You know what I mean? We're gonna start tapping it in. We're gonna start getting closer, coming down this way. You can even change it to an even more steep thing. Yeah, we're going back and forth, just like a Z pattern, a little Z shape. Do I really want the light to come down and hit? Well, guess what? I'll just add some yellow ochre. Maybe we'll get a little bit of yellow ochre and a little bit of white. And ooh, look at it. See what I mean? See all these little things? All we're doing is tapping close enough that all of them are staying pretty close together. Right? We're not trying to get rid of every single bit, all these things, but you can start building the grass, getting closer, right? So if we come down, and then we go underneath it, and then we go underneath that, and then we go underneath that, and underneath that, and then back and forth, and back and forth, right? How many little things? Can you walk up this way? I absolutely could. Almost looks like you could right there, right? All you have to do is decide where you want to have it. But you're doing the same thing. You're going under and then back, and then under and then back, and under and then back. Very closely together. coming down this crazy old hill, okay? Now we're gonna go back to that deep dark color we were using, back in here, okay? Scrape all that bugger up like that, come down like this, and let's put in something just a little further away. Just a little bit further than our grass is down here anyway, right? So we'll come up just a little higher in our trees in the back, push it down, make a little tree trunk out here, and we'll start tapping against our little trees, popping it out over here, over there, bringing it down, right? Now you can't just leave him out there like that. You have to sit him into the grass, right? So I'm gonna tap in and take away some of that dark color. So start feeding it back, and feeding it back, and feeding it back. I could even take it forward, right? But that's gonna leave a little shadowy ridge in my grass, in which case I'd have to go back with the green and the yeller and tap at it all until it was all blended, right? And our main goal is not to touch everything too much. So don't do too much, right? If we are doing too much, we're not gonna like it. It's just from personal experience, okay? Crazy old little tree out there, which can get as big or as nuts as you want it. They do not have to be symmetrical. I cannot stand when people are like, oh, but my tree isn't the same. Well, it's not supposed to be. It's not, you're supposed to have this weird thing, all these crazy weird branches, right? Like, what are we talking about here? Okay, so now, once we've got everything, do you think I forgot about our old little guy over here? We're gonna take that same deep darkness, except now we're gonna get all that Paint with Josh plaque in there as well. Come out here with our big old palette tool, just like we did with our thing, and come back and try to recreate our little shape that we had done. This guy had a couple little like vertical, I don't know if they were teeth or little hang-me-downs or whatever they are, right? We just need to get them up there. Now, all we need to do, again, because we haven't covered all of this black canvas with our colorful paint, all we need to do is put on enough up here, right? And dip it down. We're going to cut through that back forest to push it backwards, okay? So we're back in here, and we got another little boop and a boop, right? A couple little bits, and then we're just following along. We came up like this, just smushing it down. Doesn't even have to follow the design. If I wanted them to be rounder, okay, they can be rounder. That's fine. I care not what it looks like, right? All we need to do is black out all this stuff back here. Right? So we're pulling our paint away from the edge. Then we're going to come back. We're going to switch to a 1-inch brush because I don't want to get my grassy brush all covered in this dark paint and then go have to wash it, right? So we're going to drag it back towards the edge of the canvas where it should be darkest. There we go, where we don't have any paint on it. We're kind of pulling it down, doing the same thing that we would be doing if we were creating our mountain back in the background, right? You can even drag it down this way, different ways, cutting into our grass in different sections, right? Dude. I'm telling you, this one is going to be so gorge us. That's how gorgeous it's going to be. I can already see it there. Okay, now just as well, right? If you want to see this guy, check this out. What if I took this tree and tapped it even further back, right? So now the further away that I take his little base, his base shape, the farther away he's going to be. And then I can come in with my green and my yellow. There we go. I trap in where I want him to be, leaving all these little light and dark areas. Boom, 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 right? Nothing out there has to be perfect, you guys, seriously. I'm so tired of all these things that are like, oh, you got to have this exactly right and this exactly right. You really don't. I'm telling you, you really don't. Okay, so now I'm going to come in, I'm going to seal in my little rock, pop him out in front like that. Excellent. Now, let's get back in here and highlight all this craziness, right? So we're going to need, again, our two dark colors together. So we got our dark brown, our raw umber, and our burnt sienna, our two dark brown colors. Okay, we mix those up into a pile. Then I'm going to mix 70% of my burnt sienna, 30% yellow ochre into this reddish pile, just like we did on our mountain. So if you're here from the mountain or from the beginning of the canvas, then you're going to be sitting pretty. 70% yellow ochre, 30% burnt sienna to make up our final bright pile, right? Which should be considerably more yellow. So if you need to add, there we go, with some yellowy ochre in there, boom. Now, don't overmix them. Remember, if you overmix, it's just going to get nasty. Now, we can cut this big thing into many different sections, just like we did back here. We don't just have to flow straight down or whatever, okay? So very first thing, since our light is clearly coming from our right, we're going to come off this backside, kind of touch and hover and let it whip down, just dropping off some of our texturous color, okay? Just a little texture, And we can even go from our left to our right, just like we do on our mountain in the background, okay? Come in with a little bit of my lighter color, and let's say we started to let this guy, this is that mid-range brown, let him come down this way, just touching and floating and touching and floating. And if I really wanted to catch some light, especially up on top, I can add that nice bit of brightness. And then I can say, you know what? That brightness came down over here, and maybe it wrapped up on the side of this guy, and it came down over there, right? All these things, you guys, you can do, I'm telling you, right? The more we slide it down off to the side, the more you get this cool little thing. Now, what if the light just creased over and caught him right on the nose, boop, right over the edge, right? How far do you want that color to streak down? How much do you want to show? What if we had that lighter color, orangish red, right back in there? See what I'm saying? What if, just in my own mind, what if there was a little connection piece that happened right in there? Right? What do you feel like it looks like, guys? Because it's up to you. Let's start dropping that darker, our mid-range brown. Let it start flowing down, curving, turning, right? So we could do the same thing with the light, except going in the other direction. Catching that light, reeking off into the night. You see what I mean? Guys, I'm telling you, that little bit of darker color out here. Firstly, this painting is going to have like 19 pounds of paint on it by the time we get finished. Secondly, my word, you guys better grab this one before I pull it out of the store, because we might just keep it. It's coming out too good. Now, come up into the shadow, but still going down the other way, right? So we're kind of taking this little crazy little projection up into our little mountainous ridge. Grab our darker paint, grip it, come down this way. Maybe we got a whole nother little thing right here, right? Maybe the light comes over the top of that guy and catches our little corner back here. But maybe it doesn't even go all the way to the top. That's the whole fun part about it, dude, right? It's got to have a backside. So what if we put that light or the mid-range brown along the back, just so it's different, right? That's all we need. We just need some differences. Dudes, let's slide it down. Let's get a little flatter. We're getting a little flatter with our strokes down here. And again, if you wanted to catch the light right in there, just pull it in the other direction, right? We're taking our low lights from right to left, just like we did on our mountain, right to left. Highlights from left to right. Doesn't matter what side of the rock you're on. Doesn't matter what side of the mountain or what side of the world that you're on out there, right? Scoop up a good amount of that light. If you ever drop it on, look at how heavy. Look at how heavily we had it up there to be able to drop that much paint down on the bottom after scooping it up off the top. That is an insane amount of texture, guys. You want texture, this is your painting. So again, we're just about out, but we could come down here and start loading in more little bits of brown as they're sliding down, coming down further into our scene. We can get that same kind of dark texturous color back in here. All you're looking for is that same texture, you guys. So again, if we're going into the shadowy side, we're pulling from right to left or center to left, wherever you're at, right? Center to left. Now, ooh, it almost looks like that little bit, this little projection could possibly catch some light from the other direction. So left to right, and we're sliding back. And we're blending, and we're getting all these little shadowy bits and little things that are happening out here, you guys. And you can do this. Seriously. You do not have to have any special degree to be able to do this, you guys, honestly. Thank you guys for all the follows. I just looked back and saw there's like thousands of people watching. And I was like, oh, I'm just here messing around. This is what we do all the time. We come up here and do live shows and such. Ooh, check this out. There, that was his other little claw. But we do live shows and painting tutorials, and I've got literally thousands of them over on YouTube for you guys to watch. And you can check out all sorts of stuff. I've got Facebook and Instagram and Threads, YouTube, TikTok. We're all over every platform with literally hundreds of thousands on each, if not millions. Now, that is a cool looking painting. Okay, so again, if I was to come in and soften just the base, right? I don't want to go up and touch the whole thing, but I have to go opposite to the way that I had laid it on. So if I laid these on, going from center to right, I'd have to go from right to center. If this was left to center or center left, I'd have to go left to center. See what I mean? All these little things very lightly. Now, don't worry about getting little brown spots in your grass, okay? Grass is supposed to have brown spots in it all the time. You ever seen where my dog goes to the bathroom? There's brown spots all over, right? right? So don't worry about having a little brown in your grass. It's perfectly fine, okay? What we need to do is come back in here and mix up we need to come back and mix up a whole nother pile of darkness. There you go, Josh. The vocals, you know, words are hard. Words are hard, guys. You would think I was a professional or something, but words are difficult sometimes. So we're going to mix up our blue, black, and crimson. I hope you guys all give me a follow and check out all the tutorials that we have available over on YouTube. Literally over 3,000 full-length tutorials for you to watch. Bob Ross was my grandpa's cousin, believe it or not, for all the Bob Ross commenters out there in the comments. He was my grandfather's cousin, and we're just trying to do him proud, honestly. I have my own palettes. We've got our own brushes. Literally millions and millions of followers now. So if you're late to the party, welcome. It's nice to see you. Now we're going to come back in here and get a little bit of this black mixture, a whole nother bread loaf of paint, right? That's not even a baguette. Now I want to have my rocks kind of connect in here, right? So if I came over this way, popped it down, again, pulling all this rock or this dark color over here so that I have some bit of dark paint to lay all my texture on. You know what I mean? You have to have that area covered in that heavy paint so that our dark texturous colors can stick onto it, okay? Very cool looking, right? Now, since I've got all that dark paint, we're gonna do the same thing over here. Ooh, he's a mountainous mass of paint. Holy cow, I wanna have like a little place, a little walkway in between my rocks. I can just walk on this grass and get out to the fields out there. Remember, we do have another painting exactly like this one. All we're doing, or all it's missing anyway, is the one tree that we're about to put in right here in the front and a little gravestone in that other one. So if Halloween's your thing, that's the one you're going to want to find. Let's get over here, get a little taller than our back tree, pull it down, bang, living right down there in the midst of this rock. Turn our brush, angle it up towards the canvas, touch in the same corner, right? As you get down low enough to start using the full brush, you can start bouncing out from side to side, covering over everything that you thought you needed back there. Everything that was back there, cover it, right? It's gonna help, I'm telling you. Now we're gonna take our grass, we're gonna tap it and help feed it backwards, right? Because we need that little bit of shadow of all of our lights coming in here. A little bit of shadow going off to the backside. We'll grab a little bit of our yellow and our green colors, throw in our little grassy bit down here so we stay nice and bright. Pop it in like that. Guys, I'm telling you, that one is looking cool. I'm gonna put a little bit more green on the brush in here. And remember, you can have this one. You just gotta find it. It's right over there, right on the front of my website. It's paintwithjosh.com. If you don't know, let's get a little bit of pure white and then use the other side of the brush to tap that white away and just blend out just a little space. So we got white on the one side, nothing on the other side. So you can kind of lay it down, tap it out, lay it down, tap it out. Remember, you don't want it to be too noticeable or too bright. Dude, that's looking cool, right? Same thing, since we're over here and we kind of know where our grass is gonna be, we can feed it down, down and away, or up into our rocks, right? All these little things. Now we got that whole bit of land kind of feeding down this way, and we can do the literal same thing or same angle on this little guy, right? Taking him up or down or back or here or there or wherever. Seriously. We get some white or some of our yellow ochre. Tap that little guy. Right? Leading up to everything. All up to us, and then we can decide what it looks like, how bright it gets, all these little things down here in the night, okay? Now, once we get our big old rock, we're gonna start to sort of shape him, pushing him down further back here in the left corner, pulling off some of that paint. Remember, we're just trying to spread out that real thick paint so it's not just untouched or unbrushed, right? You need to brush it just enough. Just gotta be there. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so now we got to go back one more time. We're going to make up our dark shadowy color, which are what? You guys tell me, right? Because I've told you like 4 times now already. So what 2 colors are we using to make up our shadowy dark base color? Okay, I told you it's the blank and the blank. Then we're going to take 70% of the raw burnt sienna, 30% yellow ochre, Okay, so we get that reddish, goldenish, browny color. Same thing as all the rest of our highlights, right? Then we go yellow ochre. We're probably gonna need to get more of it, actually. More yellow ochre is needed, you guys. I thought I'd put on an enormous pile, but apparently not. All right, so you guys check in. Let me know where you're watching from out there. Now start coming up with a title for this painting as well, right? It is up to you guys that are watching right now to title this painting. If you purchase the painting, okay, then you have like the final say on what the painting is going to be called. But if not, if nobody grabs it, then all of us together as a group are going to have to come up with what we're going to call this painting, right? So let's follow along with our highlights and such. We'll take this little guy. We'll start pulling him off the other direction. Maybe get a little taller, right? Popping up into our little shadowy area. Turn it, touch, right? We're just very lightly floating. You cannot push too hard, because if you're I mean, you can push too hard, right? You don't want to though, because that guy was coming kind of straight down. The more you push, the more it's going to ice this cake. Like we're going to smear all this cake around, and we don't want to do that, right? Take the backside, a little bit of our darker color or our deeper, darker, shadowy color. Cut right through that whole area, right? Oh, that's wicked. Wicked. Come over here, that same kind of brightness. Feed it down, leave some spaces for your deep, dark shadows, your stuff out there. A little bit of our mid-range, dark brownish color, and then our deep, dark brown color. There, you know what I mean? There, that's what I'm saying, guys. That's looking cool. So same thing. Now we got a bigger area, okay? Let's say we wanted to have like a little ridge coming down. Maybe we got our dark side coming off this way, right? So even though I'm going over towards the side of the route, we're still pulling off to the other side. Now, if I get that brightness and I say, okay, maybe this guy was coming down, maybe this one was coming more of a straight angle, because they're not all facing exactly the same. Now, what if I come in front and cut in front of it on the side like that? All we're doing is making little differences, you guys, right? This guy maybe will come off this way, and he'll flow over to the side, but leave enough for that deeper, darker shadow, just so you have that same kind of texturous stuff, right? You got 3 different colors that you're rocking with. And let this guy flow down here, there, wherever. So what do you guys think to a title for this one? What should we call it, right? And remember, if you purchase it, you get to pick the title forever. So whatever you say goes, but you got to be the one to grab it first, right? And remember, don't overdo it, please. The more you add brightness to this thing, the more you're going to not like it, because you're going to eventually reach a point where you're going to be like, damn it, I had it. It was gorgeous looking, and I kept putting on stuff, and I kept putting on stuff, and then boom, now I don't like it anymore. You know what I mean? So be careful. Don't overdo it, man. A little bit of our mid-range brown down here, just so it's not that same bright, enormous brightness. Oh, see what I'm saying? Look at the differences in there, guys. I'm telling you. I've been telling you, all you got to have a couple differences out there, right? And that's the different colors that we're talking about. Look at that. That is fantastic. Come over here. Pull it into the shadow side, and then just let it kind of break off so you don't have everything being all the same. Dudes, that's really cool. Now we're going to come back in with our little fan brush and a little touch of our liquid white. So we get our liquid white into our sap green, which is going to make it a little bit brighter, but also make it a little bit more wet in its consistency. And that's going to help it fall off the brush easier, right? So with the slightest little tippity-tappities on our little brush, we're going to try to lay them out there, kind of like Christmas light strands. You know what I mean? And they're kind of wrapping around and around and around and around and around, getting darker as they get down to the bottom, because you don't want to see everything down there, right? The more you see down there, especially at the bottom or towards the back side of our tree, then the less depth your tree is going to have. It's going to be very, very, very flat. And, you know, I'm just telling you from experience, right? Get my liquid white, which is that base coat again, into the green and the yellow, just enough to make it come off the brush simply, right? If we get up here and we start touching it, and there's either too much heavy black on the canvas, or our mixture isn't correct, where it's not wet enough, then it will not fall off the brush with the smallest little touch, right? And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to drop off a little teeny tiny amount of this kind of greenish lightness. And each time we do, we're picking up a whole bunch of dark color along the back of our tree as well, right? So by the time you finish, the corner that you started with will be dark, and the other corner that you started with will be dark, right? You don't want to try to smush the brush on in a different way to try to get a leaf to look a certain way. Like, just let it come out the way it comes out. And always remember, there's always another canvas, right? We don't have to be irritated or stress out over this one thing, because we can get another canvas, get right back up here and do it exactly the same. So you guys come up here, come up with a title and let me know in the comments what you would call this painting. Remember, if this one sells during the live show, we get to do the light party. Everybody loves the light party. We get to do the RGB party, and then we get to spin the spinny winny wheel. So if you purchase this one during the live show, you've activated all of those things, and then everyone watching, they'll be your best friends, or you'll be their best friend, one of the two. So, hit me with your titles, guys. What are we going to call this one? And remember, we do have a very similar one, a little bit more Halloween-y. It's kind of got a little gravestone in my other painting, but it is available, and all you guys got to do is check it out. My resting place. I like that. I like it, guys. So let's just see, by the way, how closely we got these two paintings, okay? Because this was the one that I did yesterday. Oh, came out amazing. This one looks more like a teddy bear. Right, we got the gravestone, got the two trees, got our grass, got the rocks and all that. And then this is the one we did today, live on the show in 40 minutes. 40 minutes. This other one took me like 2 hours to come up with. And then this one took about 40 minutes. Just excellent. Man, the Lion's Wrath, Asimov's Peak, Animal Magic, Lion's Roar. I like that one too. It's a cool title. Cool title. Let's see if I can't get a little sharper low light on our dangly doers down here. Perfect. Boop. Those little dangles hanging down. I like it. Guys, okay. So you guys keep coming up with titles. And remember, if you want to grab this one, it is available. It's right there on paintwithjosh.com. The very first painting you're going to see, in fact. I can't believe we did that in 40 minutes. After the Ice Age. I like that. That's a cool one. Is a cool little title. Let's imagine that we got this guy catching light right up there. There. See what I mean? Just a little bit. Now remember, all this paint is very wet, and so some of the times it's catching light that is not meant to be seen, but happens from all of our crazy lights that we have in here to make everything super bright for you guys. So I'm going to finish washing off 2 more brushes. You guys come up with a title, and then remember, if you grab it, you get to pick the title forever. So this one I think is $2.59, and then I knocked the other one down to $2.09 because we didn't have a video that went along with that. I was just kind of painting in the studio with Danny, and we were hanging out and throwing some really cool paintings together. And so that one we kind of knocked down a little bit less. And that way you can, since there's no video to watch accompanying it, I figure in my mind it should be a little bit less. So that's what we did out there, guys. Okay, so what do you guys got for titles? I'm all finished washing up these brushes, and all we need now is a title from all of you poets out there that are watching the show. So, what do we got? We got Mountain Roar, Drooling Lion, In the Mouth of the Lion. I like that, you guys. In the Mouth of the Lion. That's a cool title. Grizzly Canyon, Lion's Cove, Crowning Glory, Rocky Ridge Heaven, Lion's Mouth Cave. We've got more than 30 people on the website looking at this one right now, so you guys better hurry up. You're not the only one looking at it if you were trying to purchase it. Beast of the Rock, Guardian of the Peaks, the Lion's Wrath. We got people from Colorado, Lion's Ridge at Roar Peak. That's cool. Lion Rock, Lioness's Mountain. Let's see, Sun is in Leo. I like that. Let's see, came out really nice. Thank you, appreciate ya. Lion's Pride, Bear Cliff, Leo's Valley, Dusk. I like that. Dude, that greenish sunset came out wicked neat looking. Woo, those rocks in the front too. These are so textured up here, you guys. Like, this painting actually is going to probably cost me more to ship just because of how heavy it is with all this extra paint. That is wild. Let this thing kind of feed down into my little grassy area. There we go. Yeah. See what I mean? See what I mean? You guys, this is looking so wicked. I might just keep this one for myself. I rarely have any of my own paintings because everyone usually purchases them and then they go and find a new home, you know what I mean? So I don't know, I might just keep this one. So, yeah, let's come up with a title. Let's see what we got. We got Bear Rock. Thank ya. I appreciate ya. The Gentle Giant. The Hidden King. I like that. Dude, you guys are like really good at coming up with titles. Seriously. You're like super titlers over here. Like, did you learn this in English class? Like, this is what I didn't learn in English class? And I was not paying attention, apparently? Because you guys are way better at titling stuff than I am. Let's see, After the Ice Age. That was a cool one. I saw that one earlier. Lion's Cave. What would I name it? That's why I ask you guys, because I don't know. I mean, I might throw in a couple little tree trunks in here. Just a little tree trunk or two. Did that whole thing in 40 minutes. 45 if you count the talking and such. Excellent. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I would go something, I would hope that somebody would grab this one so I don't have to title it. That's actually the the real thing. But I would do something, I don't know. I don't know. I do want it to be darker in here, though. Just a little deeper. There we go. There. Get that shadow in there, dude. Dude, get the shadow, dude. We came up a little higher. Go off of this little fringe, just so it's not such a straight line. You know what I mean? Come down and make it all jaggedy. That's really cool looking. Pride Rock is cool. Brown Saber Mountain. I like that, guys. Okay. So I'm just going to double check that no one is in the process of purchasing this right now. And then I'll go and pick a title for you guys. I mean, we do have 2 active carts, but nobody checking out as of right now. So I'm going to go through. I'll pick the title. And it doesn't mean that you can't purchase it. It's still available for you to get. You just got to get over there to paintwithjosh.com. Check it out. Dragon's Lair. That's cool. Mystic Ledge. We call it 45-minute painting. I like that. Tiger's Mouth. I like that one. Called a Happy Lion. That's funny. Glory's Reign. Mystic Ledge is cool. Whisper of the Mountains. You got to yell Jumanji before you end. Let's see. The Lion Stands Her Ground. The Hidden Predator. In the Mouth of the Lion. I like Guardian of the Mountains. Mount Simba is cool. Puma's Canyon. Where the mountain roars. I like that one. Or Silent Roar. Also, very cool titles. All right. Ooh. Let's do the Silent Roar. Somebody pin that. Somebody pin the Silent Roar, because that is cool. Right? Like you can almost hear him roaring out. So I like that. We'll go with the Silent Roar. Thank you for the wicked title. If we put a little bit of like deep darkness in there, maybe it'll look like an eye socket. A little bump. I'm throwing one little piece of my darkness in here just so it's different, just so you break something up. You know what I mean? You do not want everything to all be exactly the same. So let's break it up. Break it up, break it up. Right? Going the opposite direction, just creating a whole nother little ridge in here. All right, we can take it, swipe it, take this stuff, go over there. Bang, right? Just so it's not perfect, guys. I'm telling you, I've been telling you this whole time. Okay, so what do we get? The Silent Roar. I like that one. King of the Mountain is cool. The Lion Sleeps Tonight. I did like that one as well. I'm just going to double check that nobody's in the middle of buying this. Okay, so that one came out cool. We do have this other one for $209, right? Same size canvas. I just painted it off screen, so there's no video to go along with it. But that one is $209 if you wanted to get this guy right here with the tombstone. That would be painting number 2556. Okay, we're about to sign number 2557. So if you're looking for this one, there's no photo attached for this one because we haven't stopped the show and finished and taken our pictures yet, right? So all it has is a thumbnail right there on the very front of paintwithjosh.com, and it's painting number 2557, right? Very, very cool. If you keep scrolling down a little bit, once you get to my website, then you'll come across 2556, which looks very similar, and I just showed you that guy over there. All right, so let's blend this top. Dude, if that's not the easiest, quickest blending way to do it, throw a little liquid white on your finger and then drag the color from either side across that spot in the middle. I'm telling you, Your brush bristles will never sneak over the edge and try to get you or get into your sky. That's happened to me way too many times. Okay, so this one came out amazing. It's over here. Paint with Josh, Originac number 2557. Calling it, what was it again? The Silent Roar. My mods know me. They're like, just keep it pinned until he actually writes it, because he might go on a tangent for 10 minutes and then ask what the title was. They know me. I painted on 8/20 of 2026, and we're all going to go check out paintwithjosh.com. Check out all the paintings, plus the merch, the shirts, the bags, backpacks, all sorts of stuff to carry your art supplies, all sorts of things to wear while you're painting so you don't get paint on your clothes, right? Like this. This is basically my apron, you know what I mean? You'll never be able to tell if I got paint on this shirt or not, and that's why I like it. So, you guys have been absolutely stellarly amazing. I was hoping we could see a light party with this one, but apparently no. Apparently no. You guys didn't want to see, or nobody wanted this one anyway. So, I like how you write in half caps. Yeah, don't bring that. I don't make that noticeable because yeah, it's my handwriting is it's not the best. It's like chicken scratch mixed with lowercase and uppercase, and you know, probably some sort of alien characters or something, because I don't know. It just falls out that way. So you guys have been absolutely stellar. I was really hoping we could get to see a light party on this painting, but we can only do that if the painting sells and finds a new home, right? Until then, check out my YouTube channel and find all sorts of different videos. You guys can relearn, rewatch, paint along with as many times you can until you get it down. I can't wait to see your version of this painting. So when you get finished, send it into my Facebook page or the TikTok page. Just drop a photo into the comments. It's going to be the easiest way for me to see it. Beyond that, I can't wait to come back. If you have the Paint with Josh app, you will be notified when the app, when I go live, right? So when I go live, I send out a notification and I say, hey man, I'm going live right now, which you'll see and then go, you know what? I'm gonna head over to my favorite place that I normally watch, either on Facebook or TikTok or Instagram or Twitch or YouTube or wherever you normally like to watch. And then you fire up the thing and then boom, you're sitting there watching me, right? So, get the Paint with Josh app, either on the Google Play or the Apple App Stores. Now, before we go, you have to do one thing with me. You just got to play along and let me know, play along with me while we draw out our little signature, right? It's called the Worldwide Paint with Josh. And what happens is I have a little 3-bird signature. And when I sign the painting, all of us collectively together around the world are going to give it our best. And if you're like in somewhere like the grocery store or something, that's going to be excellent, right? So, film it. I want to see, okay? So when I count down from 3 to 2 to 1, all of us collectively together around the world are going to give it our best. And if you're loud enough and obnoxious enough, I might just hear you way over here in Washington, right? So here we go in 3, 2, 1. Oof, I like it, dude. I like it. Bing, bang, boom. I think I heard a couple of you guys out there. Just a couple out there in the day. Zip. Perfect, dude. They're coming in. They're coming in for a landing. So those birds represent myself, my ex, my daughter. They're into every single painting as part of the signature. I hope you like them, and I hope you start doing it with your family, right? They could stand for your kids or your parents or whoever, but that's what I use mine for. So we'll get out here. We're going to throw in the old JK way down here in the bottom corner. This one absolutely came out stellar. I was really hoping we could see a light party on this one, just with the green and yellow sky and how it would change in the red light would be so cool. But yeah, either way, unfortunately, we'll never, ever, ever be able to see a light party on this painting because it didn't sell during the live show. So before that, before I send it to my daughter, are you doing another one? So I did plan on doing another painting. I was trying to get the painting to find a new home so that I could... Hello! Well, let's just see. Yeah, that looks like this painting. So I am going to be coming back and doing another live show for you guys. And I had a really cool idea. Oh, dude. Is that N440 that grabbed this painting? I think that's N440. I do want to show you guys my next idea, just to get you just a little titillated. Where is it? Here we go. So again, yesterday, 2 days ago actually, sitting in Danny's studio, hanging out with her and Alexis, coming up with new ideas and stuff. And then this guy dropped out of the old brushes. Look at that. Oh, ooh, it's like a pathway into the deep forest and some light at the end, which is just absolutely stellar, right? It was too cool to resist. Thanks, N440. I appreciate you. So I'm going to be doing this one next. This doesn't have a video, right? This painting is available. I think it's 25. Hang on, I have to, because when I'm not during the live show, I tend not to write the numbers on them. And then I go, oh yeah, so it's 25.55 is this guy right here. We should actually probably sign that right now. 25.55 for this one. So I will be coming back and we're going to be doing this blue painting, which is a recreation of 25.55. And it's going to be amazing. So thank you to Noah. Now we get to do the light party. Remember, this other one, the initial practice painting, is still available. This one has a little gravestone right down here. You can kind of see a little gravestone in there. Boop, right there. It's about the only difference in the two paintings is the shape of the rock. This one's like an older bear. That's like a little baby bear. You know what I mean? So now we get to do the light party thanks to N440, guys. So tell them thank you in the comments. Say thank you, N440, for grabbing this painting during the live show so that we can have a light party and an RGB, and then Josh will come back and do us another show later. Perfect. Love you guys. So, N440, thank you, dude. I appreciate you. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We are going to, what haven't I said? Oh, what time am I coming back? Probably 7 o'clock West Coast, 10 p.m. East Coast. Okay, what I'm going to do is start to turn off all these lights and give you guys a flash warning. Okay, this is your official flash warning. The screen is going to go crazy with all sorts of lights. So if you're sensitive to the flashing, please look away from your television screen or look away from your phone for the next 30 to 60 seconds. I will tell you audibly that it is okay to look back when it is okay to look back. If you are going to stay for the light party, legally giving up all liability against Paint with Josh LLC, type in the words, I'm ready, then hit send, then shut your eyes. Because the longer that your eyes are closed, the more intense the light party will be. I'm going to get up here and then count down from 3 to 2 to 1 and say, light party. And when I say that, I want you to open your eyes and tell me the very first thing that you see. The thing that's standing out the most from you. Could be the sky or the mountain, maybe the bare rock or the trees or whatever. And when I see enough I'm ready's, then I'll get it going, guys. Thanks, Renee. I appreciate you, right? So type in the words, I'm ready. Hit send. Shut your eyes, and when I say enough I'm ready, we're going to get it going in 3, 2, 1, light party! So open up your eyes and tell me the very first thing that's catching for you. What do you see? What do you see out there? Is the mountain in the background? Maybe the rock on the side? All the stuff? Vicky Creamer says, I'm ready. Vicky, I was figuring, this other painting would just be really nice for your collection. Just this other one, very similar. All right, so we're gonna bring it down in 3, 2, 1. We're back to normal lighting conditions. It's very dark. And if you were sensitive to light, you may now look back at your screen or your phone and everything will be gravy, right? Here's what we're gonna do. We're going to do something that we call the RGB party, meaning we're gonna take red light and then green light and then blue light and put it on the canvas. All solid lights, no flashing. So if you were sensitive, everything's going to be perfect. You'll be fine. All I need you to do is type in, do you want, or are you on team red, team green, or team blue? But you'll never know until you see it, right? So I'm going to show you red, green, and blue. You're going to tell me which team are you on. Here goes team red in 3, 2, 1, red. Oh, look at it. See what see what I mean? Like just the different color, what it makes the scene looks like. Woo. Okay. I'm gonna go green in 3, 2, 1, green. Ooh, it's even more greeny and spooky than it was before, you guys. And here comes team blue, bringing it up from the rear in 3, 2, 1, blue. Oh, dude, that makes it actually look like realistic sky. Like the yellowy into the regular old blue sky. That's cool, dude. So what team were you on? Team red, team green, or team blue? As we bring it back to normal lighting conditions. And then we get our big old bright lights around. Excellent. Guys, that one came out so stellar. So I should be back at 7 p.m. West Coast, 10 p.m. East Coast. Gonna be amazing. Gonna do that little black canvas scene buried deep in the forest. Now, before we do that, we've got to get in here with the spinny winny wheel for N440. Grabbing it during the live show activates the wheel. Whatever it lands on will be a free gift going back to them for making my show better. And here we go in 3, 2, 1. I think everyone just likes the sound of the wheel. It's not what the wheel lands on, it's just the ASMR of it. Hey, a Paint with Josh poster. So, N440, you know how to contact me. If not, go to my website, use the contact feature. Then it'll send me an email. I'll send you back a code. You go back, get the poster, type in the code, makes it free, and then you just pay the $7 or $8 shipping, whatever it is, to get it from the factory. Thank you for making my show better by grabbing the painting during the live show. And thank you to everyone who sat here and watched and learned and participated with us. All you guys that actually went, appreciate all you guys for that. And I'll be back in about an hour. Make sure you get the Paint with Josh app so that you'll be notified right before we start the show. And you'll be right there at the beginning. Until I see you guys again next time, take care. Have the rest of a good day and bye. Well, that one came out amazing. I'm glad you guys were here to comment and like and share. Be sure you subscribe. Be sure you follow. And until we get to that next painting, make sure you check out paintwithjosh.com. There's always something else to look at over there. So I appreciate you guys. And until I see you guys again later, take care.